Hey everyone, I'm testing Substack Live here and then also checking to see whether exactly how I can publish this to YouTube and also the podcast. Today I want to talk about my adventures with Seeds Have a Memory. Now, I use seeds from a memory quite often, and what it means is that seeds and trees they thrived and produced in a certain climate. So if you, for example, recently I went and decided I was going to increase my diversity of my chestnuts by bringing in um, some Empire Elite chestnut trees from a nursery. I thought I was getting them from Missouri, but when I ordered them, they showed up and they were from Zone 8 in Georgia. Now I'm Zone 6A, 6B in Northeast Kansas, and let's be aren't going to make it through Kansas. So they're barely early spring and summer. They they leafed out much earlier than everybody else because hey, they're used to Georgia. So instead of putting them in the ground, would have put them in. They adapted to Kansas, and then I would have called the ones that I didn't like. But that seemed to work. And I bought 20 of them. Usually, I would put a few in the ground and then sell some more, usually locally. But these are just the odds are stacked against me here. So I'm going to send some to Grant Payne, who lives in Georgia, and I sent some to Zach Pippin from Twitter, who also lives in Georgia. And I'm going to focus on what is local because I am right now on the far western range of where chestnuts can grow. Now, you would think that's kind of not a wise choice in the first place, but hey, there's a chestnut farm down the street. There's another chestnut farm not too far from me. Problem is, Charlie's chestnut, my mentor, he's down in the river valley, and he has really good soil from the river soil. So what I do is I grow out chestnuts from seed, and then I call and throw out the ones that don't work. And lately, I've been calling out quite a bit, especially the ones that don't make it through the wintertime. What I'm seeing is they make it through the wintertime, and then some of the tip dies. So I'll have leaves about halfway up of the rest of the tree will be dead from that point higher. So at first, yesterday, I said, okay, well, I can save this. Off the part that was dead, and I stuck the other part in a pot and decided that, hey, I'm going to watch this. I'm going to see if it works. But recently, I was told the story that one of the big nurseries, one of the famous chestnut nurseries, and not just producing seeds for creating seedlings, but they're also using and creating seeds and then selling them on the commercial market for food. So what they've been doing is they've been taking the best seeds, the biggest chestnuts, and they've been selling them on the commercial market for food. And then they've been taking the inferior, smaller chestnuts and then taking those and turning them into seedlings. Now, what's going to happen over time is you're going to have seedlings that don't thrive. You're going to have seedlings that don't produce very big nuts, and nobody really wants that. And I don't want that. So so I go to the tree that I stuck in the ground it the tip died back, and I can save this. But do I really want to save this? Because I don't want to keep that kind of reaction to winter. I'm going to toss it. So so I toss it. And that's a pretty high bar. Yesterday I had a guy come over, and he's from Nebraska. He was passing through. I got him on a referral, and he wanted to buy 4 peach and 4 ching, which is spelled Qing. It's kind of funny. Um, Chestnut trees. So as he was coming, I started pulling the trees, and I started noticing that the peach trees were not looking so. Now, peach chestnuts are a chestnut that started from in Ohio from Dr. Miller's um, Route 9 cooperative. And sometimes the chestnuts are kind of fuzzy. That's how they got their name. But the trees just didn't look all that great. So I told him, "Hey, I don't feel good about this. I think that they'll make it through and you'll be fine, but I don't want to sell you trees that are going to be they're not going to make it through the winter next time, and then you're going to find out that they're not coming out of dormancy." So there was a bunch of them that didn't come out of dormancy this spring. So I pulled those and sold him the ones that were great. So now for me, that sometimes I have to be careful and I have to save some back because I'll sell the good ones to people I like and good customers, and then I don't leave enough of them in the ground. So yesterday I planted out several chestnuts, and I planted out a what was it? A crab apple, a butterball crab apple that I got from 39th parallel. And these crab apples stay on the tree into December and January. So then they're really good for deer food. So that's how I approach things. And, you know, another thing that happened was when I went to it came through Fusca, he said, "Are you going to have some more chestnuts in the fall?" And I said, "Sure." He said, "You can have some seeds," because he likes to experiment just like I do with collecting seeds and then putting them in a bucket of sand and then growing them out. And I said, "Sure." And then I'd already told him the story about how I get chestnuts from the local elementary school, and with a couple of abandoned trees that they're still there. But my friend planted these trees thinking he was going to have a chestnuts roasting by the open fire demonstration to our kids. The principal put the kibosh on that, and the trees are still there. Nobody collects the chestnuts, or very few of them collect the chestnuts. There's plenty for everybody. I get like a 5-gallon bucket of those, and I put them into buckets of sand and then sprout them out. They're Chinese chestnuts. I don't know what kind they are, but they're fine. They're not a named variety. So I had already told him that story, and he was like, "Well, why don't you just, shoot me the address of where the school is, and I'll go pick some up, or have my son go pick some up." So that's fine because he lives in Omaha. He can grow some chestnuts. He can even sell some chestnuts locally. That's not a threat to me. I think everybody should have their own local economies, and that's how we really will survive in this descent that's going on economically. So just some thoughts going forward. What I'm going to do is have a normal podcast with guests, and then I'll experiment with this Substract Live and record little videos and upload them as filler in between as I come up with ideas. So if you like all this, go check out grownuttrees.com. I'm taking orders for fall. I have I put 200 chestnuts in the grow beds the last week, so I'll have a bunch ready for fall. Take care, everybody.